Let's go to a team that finished third in the AFC South last year. It is the Indianapolis Colts. They went 9-8, missed the playoffs. Anthony Richardson, I think he, got injured like in game 4, I think it was, after having a real hot start to the season. He's had a so-so preseason, even to the fact he had Bengals players saying things like, that nigga can't throw the ball. All he do is run. He threw some questionable interceptions in the last game. And they just had, by the way, the Bengals did not say that about my starting quarterback when he was lighting their ass up in joint practices, but that's neither here nor there. That's what they said about him. Anthony Richardson, they've got a real good defense coming back. You got Zaire Franklin, who just made the NFL top 100. Got Jonathan Taylor back. I think this team, and Shot Retro Rob, he says on Instagram, Anthony Richardson going to be nice bearing injury. This is my thing about Anthony Richardson. I know this is not going to help my I don't like black quarterbacks agenda. Obviously, I'm very aware of that. I think he is very athletic. I don't know if he's the best passer of the ball. Like I said, it's not helping. It's not helping what the wrongful accusations that get thrown on me. When I was at the draft, he got drafted in Kansas City. My brother actually said out loud, "This guy stinks." When he got drafted, which I did not do. I think that he had some exciting plays beginning of last year. And maybe he will be really, really good. This would be a very, very big test for him. I'm not going to lose my mind over interceptions that he threw in training camp. I do think the things the Bengals defense said about him is kind of interesting because kind of things that the Colts defense said about Justin Fields last year in training camp that we didn't want to hear in the joint practices, but that's what he said. I think this team is probably going to be around the same they were last year. I think that they could sneak in, a chance to win the division. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs because the AFC is so stacked that if you don't win a division, you're not gonna make the playoffs. Because I think the AFC North is gonna have 3 playoff teams. But I think they're gonna be a team that if you're a team like the Texans or the Jaguars, even any other AFC team, that's not a team you want to play. I think they're gonna be a tough out. I actually think that this is not an easy game for the Bears when they have to play them week 3. So I think that if Anthony Richardson is actually a really, really good quarterback, that opens things up for them. But I don't have too much faith. I think they'll be an annoying team. They probably going to win the same amount of games that they won last year. But it all just really just relies on how healthy Anthony Richardson is. And when he's healthy, how good can he be as well. I'm going to go back to Dante. What do you think about Anthony Richardson in this version of the Colts?
I think that nigga stinks. I'm not gonna
see when I say it, it's an
about
issue.
It. Like, no, because I don't do this all the time. Like, you're pretty consistent with this. But no, I don't think Anthony Richardson is good at all. Like at all. Like even going back to his pro day, this man is throwing passes that are hitting the actual fucking ceiling. Like I don't get it. Like I just really don't. Like I understand we talk about the measurables, and it's kind of what they did with Josh Allen, and they tried to force this upon us. But I don't think Anthony Richardson is that good. I'm gonna just be honest with you. And that's the Colts may win some games in spite of him because they do have a talented roster and they've been able to get some talent on that team. But no, him, hell no. So I think the Colts are a team that they'll be in games, but if you expect Anthony Richardson to win you some games, no, that's not gonna happen.
Bang, what you think about Anthony Richardson in this Colts squad?
The only reason why I'm not going to call them complete ass is because they have a good offensive coaching staff. They have Michael Pittman Jr. They have Jonathan Taylor. They have a pretty decent offensive line. So
that's Josh Downs erasure. That's crazy.
You say what?
I said that's Josh Downs erasure. That's crazy.
I mean, I'm not really a fan of him like that.
Bang said, "Fuck Josh Downs."
Yeah, I'm not like I like Pittman Jr. Josh Downs is
they said the chemistry between the streets were saying that the chemistry between Anthony Richardson and Josh Downs was looking pretty nice. That's the only reason why I say that.
That's cool, but I do think that Anthony Richardson
feels like good chemistry with Darnell Mooney as well.
Yeah, so I think he's still going to be ass. So I just think that he has. I just think that he has some pretty decent pieces around him that's going to be able to mask that. But I do think that they're a pretty decent team that's going to be consistent because they have a good coaching staff and everything. So I'm not bullish on them, but I don't think they're going to be completely huff either. So middle of the road team. Congratulations, Indy.
They're gonna be not huff but huff. That's
Yep.
what it is. That's what
Not
it be. Not
huff,
huff, but they'll
but
be huff. Courtney, take us home on this division. What do you think about the Colts?
I mean, yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys that I am concerned about Anthony Richardson's ability to throw the ball. But I do think they have a really great defense. They also are tied for the 21st toughest schedule with the Titans, mind you.
Yep.
So I do think that it's possible that they could fuck around and keep themselves in there. It also helps that Anthony Richardson does have Joe Flacco now in his ear, maybe to help guide him. I
forgot Flacco was there.
Yeah, Joe Flacco is their QB2. So listen, I'm not saying that the Colts are going to do anything special this season. All I'm saying is that I think this division kind of reminds me a little bit of it's. There's going to be a lot of teams that are within one game of each other. Again, it's going to be close. It's going to be a close race.
I think it'd be a close race, but unless Anthony Richardson actually knows how to throw the ball well.
This is gonna be that one division that literally at the last game of the season you're gonna see who's going to win the division and who ain't going nowhere.
It gives AFC North vibes for sure. Like all the teams are kind of gonna be within 1 or 2 games of each other, and somebody's just gonna get shafted because they're all gonna be within 1 or 2 games of each other.
Yep. Let's go to the final team, which is the Chicago Bears Week 1 opponent. That is the Tennessee Titans, led by Will Levis. They've got a new head coach. That is Brian Callahan. He was the offensive coordinator in Cincinnati the last 4 seasons. They got DeAndre Hopkins back. He's allegedly healthy. They signed Calvin Ridley after he has been able to get back into the league. Last year they were 6-11, missed the playoffs. I don't think things are going to be that much different at all, and that's because of this man wearing number 8 right here, Mr. Will Levis. He had a nice couple moments, most specifically the moment he had against Miami, where really I wouldn't even Will Levis. That was just Miami tripping over their own feet, losing that game, which they had no business losing. I think everything in the NFL now comes down to one question. Is your quarterback good? I think this defense is decent. They're missing Derrick Henry, which is a big hole in their mainly run offense. This is going to be a hole. I think that the defense will be good, but the reason why I think this team isn't going to be good, and I think they're actually going to lose more than they did last year, is because I don't trust the quarterback situation. I think the defense is going to be able to keep this team in games, but Will Levis ain't outscoring nobody. You don't have that option of Derrick Henry to run the football. And it don't matter if you got DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley if you ain't got nobody to throw to them. So I'm not really expecting anything from this team. I think they're actually going to be huff, which I know Bang is laughing because I kept saying that Tennessee Titans aren't going to be a game that I go over, and that's because in typical Bears fashion, sometimes you have those close games where defense has been really, really well, and you got like a fluke drive by Will Levis. But overall, I think if they get smacked up week 1 by the Bears, it's going to be a rough year for them. Cody, I'm going to go back to you. What do you think? I know you said the Titans are your sleeper team. What is that?
Yeah, listen, say what you want about Will Levis. I'm higher on Will Levis than I am on Trevor Lawrence right now. And I say that because I think he has better weapons around. I think he has better weapons around him, honestly. Now you don't have to just worry about throwing to DeAndre Hopkins. You got Calvin Ridley. You have Tony Pollard. You have Tyjae Spears, which, again, I like to think of football to a degree through the lens of fantasy football. Tyjae Spears is one of the most underrated running backs in football right now. So I'm still high on the Titans. I think that there's potential that they finish higher than the Colts. I know we're not getting into projections or anything like that yet, but I'm kind of in on the Tennessee Titans.
Dante, are you in with the Tennessee Titans or no?
I too am in on the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, okay.
They spent $400 million this offseason. They clearly think that this team has potential to win right now.
No, I think this is going to be a really good team. I think their secondary is kind of underrated. They can have a potential to be really good.
They did get L'Jarius Sneed. I forgot about this shit.
Correct.
They got Sneed, and I just think overall, offensively, they're gonna put up points. It's just a matter of, can Will Levis not turn the ball over? As long as he's not out there just slinging the ball around, giving it to the other team, I think they're gonna be okay. I think he's gonna run into trouble week 1 against the Bears, but that's just not being biased. I think the Bears defense is gonna be really good this season. So that's going to be a trouble struggle for him. And their schedule is kind of tough. I was actually just talking to the homie from Memphis at work today, and we were going through their schedule. So, but even with that said, I think this team is going to surprise some people, and they are going to be pretty good this season.
I got my guy Retro Rob on Instagram said that Levis is a fraud. They got sorry ass Tony Pollard. I forgot they got Tony Pollard. Yeah, I'm not buying Tony Pollard.
The Tennessee kid goes back home. The story sells itself, guys.
The story is good, but he's not good. Going from Derrick Henry to Tony Pollard is like going from
Pollard was still coming off a pretty bad leg injury. Like that was freaking brutal. You know, maybe he lost his confidence a little bit. I allow Michael Gallup. Man. You know, I'm just saying.
Michael Gallup, another sorry nigga. Like this is the thing. Like I said, going from Derrick Henry to Tony Pollard is like going from a Maybach to a Ford Focus. God bless.
Crazy.
Joseph in the chat says, I'd rather have Levis than Bryce Young. That's how low people on Bryce Young. We talk about, we spent a very small time on the NFC South. There's a lot of pressure on Bryce Young. not just because of Caleb, but also you got CJ going over there. I would not want to be that skinny nigga right now, but I am not that down on Bryce Young. I'd rather have Will Levis over him. Bang, what you think? Are you low on them like me, or are you high on the Titans as well?
Ass. Stop. Will Levis is, matter of fact, we talked all that shit about like those quarterbacks in that third tier. Will Levis, you're a part of that group. You are a part of that legendary group that features like Jay Fiedler, and what's my man name? David Klinger.
Also, isn't it his second year in the league? Can't we extend? See, this is what I'm talking about.
No, the fuck we can't. That nigga's gonna be ass.
Well, I'm just saying, but this is exactly what we're talking about. And Tom Brady, I'm with you. We don't allow people any grace to like get better. He has significantly more weapons this season, and he has a new coach who is very, very much shotgun friendly. So
Brian Callahan.
I'd be shotgun friendly too if I had Joe Burrow for 4 years.
Yeah, and Brian Callahan offenses be mid. All right, without a top flight quarterback, his shits be mid. All right,
without Slim Shady, it's mid.
I believe in Will Levis. He is very.
I don't believe in Brian Callahan.
Courtney like that. He's good to me.
Exactly.
Hey, look, I have no faith in this team right here. I think this team is going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Don't get me wrong. I like Snead, but I don't like that team. All right, and we could talk all that stuff about him, but I don't like that whole team makeup. Brian Callahan, this is his first season as a head coach. Finally, so there's going to be some growing pains there too. You're going to be going up against experienced head coaches in your division, all right? So they know that shit, all right? They're going to be the one team that ain't close. So no, I think this team is going to be ass with a capital ass, and Will Levis will end up being replaced by somebody else on that for the quarterback position for the Tennessee Titans.
Well, keep in mind, Brian Callahan did bring on his father to his staff. So he does have a very experienced guy in Bill Callahan in his ear. So that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, the offensive line I ain't going to have no problems with. Is everything else.
I believe.
I mean, look, I don't care what his daddy did. It's 2024. Like, I don't care what that nigga did. Look, man.
I'm just saying.
Look, I think
we're gonna revisit this in a few months.
That paper on this player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.